San Francisco, and I started the job that I didn't, find passion for. I did not know, nor did I even think about being a pastry chef at Facebook. At that point, I didn't even know that was a possibility. But I realized that I wasn't happy and I had to do something to change that, and that it was up to me. Because I could sit in that desk job and be unhappy for the rest of my life. Or I could do something to make my life a little better. And for me, I love to learn new skills, and I love to be in the kitchen. And so it was just sort of, a natural, I just sort of went to it natural. I started thinking about how it'd be fun to go to culinary school maybe. And I was volunteering at a farmer's market doing some chef demos. And when I was there, I talked to people around me, and I met a woman who had gone to pastry school, and I said, oh, pastry school, that sounds really cool. Maybe I'll do that. And, but I was concerned because I didn't want to not be working, at the same time. I'd just gotten out of school. I had, just gotten to this new, a real job. I was an adult now, and I needed the income. And so I was chatting with her, and she'd gone to pastry school on the nights and weekends, they had a program. So I heard that, and I just thought, wow, that sounds really, really cool. So I looked into it, and it just so happens that they were having an open house actually in the next couple of weeks. And they only had 2 a year, so I was lucky. Good timing. And so I went to the open house, and they had a few spots left. It was a really small class size. And you had an application including this written essay portion. And I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want somebody else to get my spot. So I actually sat down there and I wrote the whole essay by hand with a pencil. And I remember I got a little pencil bump on my finger. I hadn't had that since high school when I used to take a lot of notes. I just sat down, and I was just so determined that I was going to do this, and I was excited, and there was this little piece of me too, knowing that maybe I would get it, maybe I wouldn't. I just was gonna get it. And I think that's an attitude that I carry with me throughout my life, is I will, if I want to do something, I will get it. And so you just have to follow through with things as well. And it was definitely, I was conflicted on a lot of different levels inside when I realized how much I loved it, and I realized also how, how am I going to make this work? The pastry, in just the chef industry, the cooking industry in general, is well known to not pay very well, to have long hours, to be crazy, and I wasn't willing to sacrifice the quality of my life either. So I knew it was a big risk because I didn't even know what I was, how I was going to make this work. And for a while I thought, well, maybe I could do food writing or something, but I still wanted some experience, and I didn't know, but what I really learned throughout all of that is that being open to the opportunities and talking to people, and that's how it comes. It comes to you, sort of. If you're open to it and you're putting yourself out there, and you're, searching for something, and you're learning as much as you can, it will come to you too. And a lot of that is being open and the timing of things. I didn't mimic anybody, but I did, have the role model from a young age of somebody following what, they felt was their passion regardless. Because, my father, when we were young, he didn't make very much money at all. And I realized, I guess, that was a big realization for me. It was realizing that money it doesn't have to be the driving force for things. It's an important thing, but it's not the reason for doing something or not doing it. And, my mom too, just being such, I don't know, she just created a job for herself. It was really amazing. My parents got divorced when I was 11 years old, and my mom, she could have just sort of done, gone and worked in a business or a company at a desk job or done something like that, but she knew that she couldn't do that for herself, and she created this job as an orchestra director, and it hadn't existed exactly before her, and she sort of made it, kind of, and she's amazing, and I think I saw her do that, and I knew that well, those are my genes too, so if my mom can do it, I'm gonna make her proud too, and my dad, make him proud. And So I do think that a lot of it too is just about your support system and like surrounding yourself with the people that really are your cheerleaders. They really are like there for you and they're encouraging you. And I had that the whole way, and I do to this day, you know. And I think that if, you know, filling your life with the people that build you up is really, really important. And that if you have anybody in your life that's not doing that for you, to realize that you don't have to keep them there and that they're stopping you potentially. It's important to sort of stay focused on what's important or what matters to you and keep those people close to you. Because it really is, it's not just me. I didn't get myself here alone. It was like, you know, it was a whole group effort.
One thing I can point to would be the 4-Hour Work Week, where it's just, you know, the story of Tim Ferriss deciding that I'm gonna live my life and that's it. I'm just gonna live my life. I'm not gonna be restricted by I need to make this much amount this year to pay for rent, to pay for a car. I need this much to go on vacation. Like, he just said, I'm gonna make a list of things I want to accomplish in my life, and I'm gonna do what it takes to make them happen. And so I guess I figured where there's a will, there's a way. And if you can do something that you're passionate about and stick to it and see it through, as long as you're moving, it doesn't matter if it's the right direction, wrong direction, as long as you're moving forward, there will be people that are willing to help you. As long as you're making it apparent to everyone around you what your goals are, what you're passionate about, your interests, what you're going for, there will be people that reach out their hand and say, hey, I know someone who can help you with that. I've done that before. You need some funding? I'll help you put a fundraiser together. I know an investor. And that's something huge that I've learned with working on Gen Juice, when you just put it out into the universe that we want to help young people build their personal brands. We want to build a blogger network for 20-somethings. You know, we want to connect with as many young people across the nation as possible. We're going on a tour. That's when you had people approaching us saying, hey, we'd love to sponsor you. We want to get in touch with that audience too. Or, hey, I'd love to speak at your event. I'd love to host it for you. So I think it's really important for us to just not be confined by, you know, by the fact that we don't have it figured out. The fact that you don't know how much you're going to be making from this project you're working on a month from now. None of that is guaranteed. But what is guaranteed, I think, is that as long as you're doing it and you just keep pushing forward and making it apparent to other people, they'll help you. They'll help you refine your goals, your mission, whatever you need to do. As long as you like stick to it and see it through, then I think you can create a business opportunity from it. All of my brainstorming and, you know, constantly having, you know, doodling on napkins, like business ideas, all of that kind of stopped, and I became that person that would wake up, go to work, and go back home and go to sleep, and that's it. And I realized that I kind of, I guess, lost Danielle and lost my essence and what makes you excited to wake up in the morning. And so at that point, I guess made the decision that I wanted to leave, and I wanted to start something. Unfortunately, I had no idea what I wanted to start, and I didn't have anyone around me. I guess one thing, like one really big, just one of my shortcomings, I guess, and something that I doubt myself on a lot, is the ability to do things without a team and to do things without someone to collaborate with. And so at the time, I had no one to collaborate with, and I had a couple of ideas, but I guess I wasn't ready to make the leap because I didn't have someone backing me, and I felt like maybe I won't succeed just on my own. And so, yeah, so I think finally, luckily, Ariel was working on Gen Juice, and this was, you know, around, I was coming up on my 2-year anniversary at Rock U. And so it was just like the perfect time, and I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. I have someone to collaborate with. We've got something great going. I love what we're working on, and so that's when I, you know, decided to leave and make that leap.